As a self-proclaimed NBA nerd, I spend a lot of time looking at stats, and one of my favorite websites to use is Basketball Index. They have a bunch of advanced stats and tracking data that's hard to find anywhere else. One of my favorite metrics that they include is something called overall shot quality. This is something they calculate using shot location, what type of shot, how contested they are, etc. Basically what it does is calculate how good of the shots a player's taking are. You can see at the top of the list, the top 3 is Walker Kessler, Rudy Gobert, and Jackson Hayes. This is to be expected. They're lob threats who more often than not just sit in the dunker spot and really only take shots 3 feet from the basket. What I think is more interesting is looking at who has some of the worst shot quality. Down at the bottom, you can see guys with the ultimate green light. Guys who, even though they're taking tough shots, are still making them. A lot of stars down here, like Cade Cunningham, Jaren Jackson Jr., Joel Embiid, LaMelo Ball, people you'd expect. Something I also think is very interesting is the guys who take hard shots and are still super efficient at it. So I took the bottom 15 in shot quality and sorted them by true shooting percentage, which is a more efficient way to look at shooting splits by weighing the value of 3-point percentage as well as 2-point percentage. You can see with this list, DeJounte Murray is having some struggles shooting well, though he's had other problems this year, so I can't really blame him. You can see other guys near the bottom like Chris Middleton, LaMelo, and Clarkson. These guys are taking tough shots and having struggles making them. In LaMelo's defense, who else is going to take all these shots on the Hornets, so I don't really blame him. Anyways, near the top, you've got 5 guys who have all been all-stars. Joel Embiid, DeMar DeRozan, Zion, Jaren Jackson Jr., and at the very top is Victor Wembanyama, who before his injury was having an extremely dominant season. So there it is. These guys are taking the worst shots in the league, but making them at an incredible rate. But there's actually a name I left off on here. The name of somebody who's at the very top of this list with an over 5 percentage difference between him and Victor. I bet you'd be shocked to know that this is someone who's actually coming off the bench. Someone who, despite his absurd production, can't seem to crack 20 minutes a night. This guy is Cleveland Cavaliers guard Tai Jerome. The other night when the Cavs faced off against the Memphis Grizzlies, starting point guard Darius Garland was out with a hip contusion. This gave way for Tai to earn a lot more minutes. Unfortunately, Tai picked up 3 early fouls in the first quarter alone. This meant by halftime, Tai only played 5 minutes in total to stay out of foul trouble. So I guess he wasted his opportunity, huh? Absolutely not. He played solid in the third quarter, but in a nail-biter game, Tai Jerome absolutely went crazy in the fourth quarter. Watching this live was nuts because to most NBA fans, Tai Jerome is not a name you think of when you think about someone who can take a game over. This is the clip of his very first shot in that fourth quarter. He soars up in the air to grab a steal and runs a fast break. What do you think the third option ball handler on a team would usually do in this situation? Probably pass to a teammate running the break behind him, maybe try to run towards the paint and create from there? If you chose either of these options, you lack Tai Jerome's confidence, because with literally zero hesitation at all, he just pulls up in transition and drains a 27-footer. That's probably just luck, right? He's a bench guy, that's not the norm for him. Well, about 2 minutes later, the Cavs end up in another transition opportunity, where this time, Tai has Dean Wade in the corner wide open. So obviously, he passes it, just kidding. He pulls up from the exact same spot, but a little further back this time, and drains a 31-footer 3. So Tai Jerome's a spot-up shooter. That must be why he's on the bench, because he can only shoot. Nope, because now Tai Jerome is going to show off his bread and butter, what makes him so good, his floater. According to Basketball Index, the site I used earlier, Tai Jerome has the 4th best floater in the entire game, behind Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Brunson, and LaMelo Ball. And funnily enough, right behind Tai is his teammate Darius Garland at 5th. And Tai Jerome showed exactly why this is the case. After Jared sets the pick here, Tai gets Vince Williams on his back and keeps him there, who by the way is a very solid defender. And with all the space Zach Edey gives him, Tai floated the ball right into the cup. A pretty easy floater, that wasn't too hard. But again, right after that, this time Tai couldn't get his defender on his back, so instead of an easy floater, Tai just takes the harder floater, and strongmans Vince Williams right off him to get the open look. And then again, right after that, we're back in a pick and roll. This time, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a little more hesitant to sag off Jerome because he knows what he's capable of now. So this time, Tai is facing a defensive player of the year right in front of him and another defender right on his left. But this is why Tai Jerome has the low shot quality he has, because despite these factors, he, from the free throw line, just hops up and lightly floats the ball in. Out of the top 5 in floater talent, Tai Jerome is the only player there who isn't labeled as a star. Rather, he's called a key rotation member. That really doesn't mean anything, I just thought it was kind of cool. And after 3 more free throws, Tai Jerome has the fourth quarter stats of 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. All of that in the fourth quarter exclusively. His totals for that game were 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. In only 23 minutes. The way coach Kenny Atkinson has really empowered Tai this year has been awesome to watch, especially after the injuries he faced last year where he pretty much didn't play. Sometimes it feels like Tai Jerome just gets one heat check 3 a game, and sometimes he misses it, but I think it's really funny whenever he does it. On this season, he's averaging about 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal and a half. But that's only in 19 minutes. For reference, he's playing less minutes than Daquan Jeffries, Jake LaRavia, and oddly enough, his own teammate Sam Merrill. But Tai is still shooting almost 50-40-90 on the season, even with coming off the bench. And he's playing incredible defense on top of that. Remember how I said he's averaging 1.2 steals in 19 minutes per game? 1.2 steals doesn't seem like that much, but let's regulate that to 75 possessions. So now everyone in the league's stats are adjusted to exactly 75 possessions, so minutes don't matter anymore. Now the leaders in steals are Alex Caruso, Dyson Daniels, and Tari Eason. These are all guys I consider pretty elite defenders, at least great ones. It makes sense that they're in the top 3. But at number 7 on that list, after lockdowns like Cason Wallace and Keon Ellis, is Tai Jerome. And he doesn't move that athletic or quickly. Tai is just the embodiment of defensive IQ and pure hustle. On a play like this, it starts with Tai on Cat, for some reason, where after noticing Landry Shamet rotate to the corner, he hustles over and keeps his arm outstretched to block off any passes to Cat. Unfortunately with that, Shamet is now driving on the baseline, and unfortunately the quick closeout means Tai is behind on the play and at this point has nothing he can do to stop the drive. Well actually, Tai uses proper timing and hustle to swipe at the ball right from behind and knock it right out of his hands, leading to a turnover. Here Tai does the exact same thing on his soon-to-be teammate DeAndre Hunter, where he managed to pop the ball out right from behind. He kinda does this a lot, and it's really telling that no matter where you are and where you have the ball, you always have to be a little bit weary of a Tai Jerome pickpocket. Not to mention, Tai is very good in passing lanes. On this play, I think a lot is told about Tai Jerome. Not sure what Rob Dillingham was doing here, but he throws the ball right to Tai Jerome in the lane with the clock counting down. Without any hesitation, Tai Jerome rips that ball from behind the arc and drains it to beat the buzzer and gives the Cavs an even larger cushion to start the fourth quarter. Overall, all season long, Tai Jerome has been the perfect spark plug for the Cavs. I think even in games where Garland and Mitchell aren't playing, Kenny plays it perfectly by still keeping Tai Jerome out of the starting lineup. Not because he hates him or anything. In fact, Kenny said it was hard to take Tai out of games because of the value he brings coming off the bench. If you're an opposing team dealing with the guard core of Garland, Mitchell, and Tai all night long, that must be a nightmare. And that's not even including having to chase guys like Sam Merrill around all night. And I think adding his former college teammate and best friend DeAndre Hunter during the trade deadline, it just maximizes Tai Jerome. And it's pretty nuts to think that this guy's only making $2 million a year. Tai Jerome makes less money than Bryce Sensabaugh, Trenton Wofford, Marjon Beauchamp, Omar Yurtseven, David Roddy, Johnny Juzang, and so many other players who, while solid of course through in the NBA, are nowhere near matching the production Tai Jerome offers to a basketball team. And it sucks that most likely the Cavs are going to lose Tai Jerome in this offseason because he'll be worth a lot more money. But it'd be amazing if they could somehow make room to afford him, maybe trading Isaac Okoro, I'm not really sure, because Tai Jerome is overall a perfect fit for the Cavs. Like his per 36 numbers, he's averaging 22, 6, and 2 steals. Like those are just objectively great numbers. Overall, I think Tai Jerome is severely underrated and is a huge reason why the Cavs are having such a historic season this year. And if you like this video, I really hope you consider subscribing and liking the video. We're getting dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers, and that number is mind-blowing to me. 1,000 different people chose to click that button, and I could not be more grateful. If you have any other thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comments. And if you have any ideas or players you want me to make a video about, I'd be more than open to suggestions. And finally, I hope you have a great day. Peace.